I'm gonna shoot a video here checking out the grocery store. I always like to show people what it's really like from a perspective. These were local people shop. We were in Seychelles last night and we went to a cafe and we were told that we were the first Americans that had ever visited the cafe. And it's a little town not too far out of Capuchos, where we are here in the beach town. So I thought that was interesting, being told that we were the first American they had ever met. They were excited. The Portuguese flag blowing in the wind here. Yeah, some interesting things here about Portugal I'll point out in this video as I take a look down. Again, we're in a little coastal community. It's winter time. I've been told by the locals that it's dead down by the beach, which is in the distance, the Atlantic Ocean. There's a coastal community down there. It's 2 miles as the crow flies from here. It's not very far. And this is the Pingo Ponce. It's Pingo Ponce. Ponce, I think is how they say it. It's a local Portuguese-owned grocery store. You'll see it's much smaller than what we typically see in the United States. This is a relatively new building. On Google Maps, it wasn't even shown. So it looks like what they've done is they've taken the bottom structure and put the grocery store for the local community here. And on top up here, they have residential type units. All right. So a couple interesting things here you'll point out. Take a look at the way that they park. So, you know, in the United States, we basically park in the direction of the road. Well, in Europe, that doesn't really hold weight. They'll park their cars, doesn't matter which way they're facing, and clearly they don't get tickets for that. So parking tickets in Europe, not so sure that it's a deal. They're definitely not like what we see somewhere in Southern California, for example. And so what you see is you see these little tiny curbs that kind of give you an idea that they're small mini curbs. That's where the parking. Cars, all much smaller than what we're used to in the US. Okay. One of the great things that I've realized here in this last 4 days I've been in outside of Lisbon here in the little beach community is that the traffic is non-existent. It's awesome because you've got people on the roads, but it's great. Everything's 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. Okay, let's see here. We have a lady coming out with some groceries, and you'll see here in Portugal, I'm gonna try to, my camera, I don't want to be too obvious and feel like I'm incriminating on some of their personal space, but Pingo Ponce, Doce, sorry, Pingo Doce, that's how you pronounce it. I've been in here at least 5 times in the last couple days. So, small little cars. The trash receptacles, I've made a brief video on that before, but I think this is a really interesting phenomenon. They're all over the city, and people come up and they must have an interesting system where you lift off the tops of these, and this is the trash receptacle. So you lift them up and they do a great job with their recyclables and everything like that. Okay. These trees got infected with some kind of fungus right here. They're not making it. I don't know if you can see it. I've looked at this. These trees are dead right here, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would be a beautifully lined street. But I've walked up and down the street and I've noticed that. The pines are beautiful up here. Really nice views. So I like to look at the trees in the area. So they have an underground parking structure. People are coming and going. What I do like about the culture is you always see a lot of old people in Europe, mature people for some reason, get a lot of respect. I was in this grocery store earlier and I had an older gentleman basically come in, and he just went right in the front of the line. I had no hesitation to allow him to get into the front because he was older and he wanted to come in. And that's basically how it goes. You know, you respect your elderly people, which is cool. I appreciate that in a society. It says a lot about the civility of the general population. Here's a guy, I guess this is a parking lot here. That is just a dirt parking lot. Watch this move. See what he's gonna do. He's gonna pull up to the side here. No big deal. He's feeling good. All right, so we'll take a walk inside. One of the things I was going to mention about the grocery stores is that they actually do have these little carts you can pay to get there he goes. This was the guy that was parking. There's another guy coming out. So you can pay and get a cart. Look, this guy's put in a little nickel. He put a coin in the cart. You pull it out. That's how you get in. All right. So I'm gonna try to be as inconspicuous as possible to get some legitimate footage of the entire grocery store. So I'll go low to high. Look, as I mentioned, see, another nice mature senior citizen coming out. I don't know, I just have an idea that I see more senior citizens in European society, but it's a good, let's take a look inside here. We'll see. I'm gonna go with the low profile. Candy section here. Europe's famous for their chocolates. Fairly priced item. 49 cents. That'd be, about 50 cents in the US. It's pretty good. This is a really popular brand which we don't have in the US. I think I'll get one of these for the kids. They've got a football match later today. A little bit of chocolate part of the match would be okay. Small wine section over here. I saw some good value, but take a look at this. Oh, here's a bigger wine section. $70%, 16% volume alcohol.